to Margo Huggins. We are in Williston, South Carolina, and she has a farmette, and the name of this enterprise is
Rivendell Farms.
And I think that that is something that is talked about a lot in The Hobbit.
Yep, it's not a nod to Tolkien. A lot of people think it is, but where we started this, my husband and I, was when we lived on Rivendell Drive in Lexington. So that's actually where the name came from, and then people continuously were like, oh, and saying things to me out of The Hobbit, and I would look at them like, I don't know what you're talking about. But one day I will read the book, all of the books.
But again, you described this as a farmette, and so what do you mean by farmette?
Farmette to me means a very small farm. I work in big agriculture. I work for a company called Americot, and I provide next-gen cottonseed to large row crop growers.
Oh.
And I've done this for almost 2 decades. I've worked in big agriculture. So, you know, I go to 1,000-acre farms. So I can't in good faith call what we're doing here on this 1/4 acre a farm, especially because it's not our main source of income. It's what we do as a side hustle or hobby to, you know, it brings us joy, but it also is bringing in some money too to help pay for itself.
And I think at first, like many people, you were growing vegetables because we all love vegetables out of the garden. But a lot of people around you are doing that, and I think you found a way to specialize. So what have you kind of centered in on as your specialty?
We are growing tons of cut flowers now, and it's wonderful. And yes, we actually started, my husband and I, when we started dating, with just a 4x8 raised garden bed in our backyard. And it is exploded to almost a 1/4 acre now that we grow flowers and fillers and all those great things.
And there's a season, 2 seasons. You have kind of the early cool season flowers and then the summer flowers. So tell me what you have in each grouping.
So a lot of folks don't understand the timing of flowers or flowers in general. So we plant cool season flowers at the end of September, direct seed them, or we plant plugs and transplant them in, and they sit in the ground all winter long. And those are the things that come off for Mother's Day. We also plant tulips, and they're planted here as annuals. So we get them in and we have to chill them, and then we plant them around Christmas time, and they're the first things that will come off for us, usually in March. And then the season moves on, you know, March tulips, Mother's Day, the things that we planted in September come off, and then we get into our really warm season flowers, the frost intolerant things that lots of folks know.
Yeah, and you've got giant cone flowers, which I love. You had phlox. Oh, was there anything more glorious than phlox?
I know.
Yeah.
And we plant a lot of perennials as well. For filler, we've got some eucalyptus growing and mahogany splendor. And a lot of this stuff I was able to start from seed. So it's a really fun process.
And then you've got herbs.
We do.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I grow a lot of basil.
Yes.
We use basil as filler, but we also make our own pesto.
Oh.
So we freeze it and we have it all year round.
And then you've got a funky kind of purple leaf plant. What was that?
Yeah, a beefsteak plant. But it's a weed, and it's wonderful for filler too.
You've got what a lot of people call Queen Anne's lace.
Yes, we do, and some different versions of that for filler. It's really fun to use the whole entire crop season because it'll produce a really pretty flower and then sort of dry down to this interesting filler.
And I think you found out that some of your grandparents or somebody once had a farm devoted to one flower, and you've got some of that here now too?
Yes, ma'am. So my paternal grandparents actually had a business where they grew gladiolas, and I didn't know that until 2 years ago. We've been doing this flower farming journey for 4 years now, and I only found that out 2 years ago, and I have their business paperwork. It's wonderful to have that. And gladiola is actually my favorite flower.
Well, and I love the shorter varieties, and I particularly like it when they fall over and get some curves. They don't have to be just straight up and down.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's actually one of my favorite things about tulips too, because there's no rhyme or reason. You just put a tulip in a vase and it will end up growing like 3 inches. So it's really fun to watch flowers progress in their lives, and you know, to know when exactly to harvest them and what you need to pinch and what you can't pinch and what needs to go in a cooler and what absolutely can't go in a cooler. There's a lot of intricate things to learn about flowers.
And then you've got a second batch of sunflowers coming in, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep, we succession plant sunflowers and zinnias, and we will every 2 weeks for the rest of the summer.
Wow. And you do this like every week or every other week? You have some local farmers markets or things like that where you take them?
Yes, ma'am. We take to the Barnwell Farmers Market
Okay.
every other Saturday, and then oftentimes we'll take to a little local coffee shop in Barnwell called Accelerator Coffee. And we will tell people what we're doing on our Facebook page, so if folks want to follow what we do, we try to get the kids really involved. We want them to know how to grow things, where their food comes from, and we like them to get dirty too.
Do the kids get excited about it?
It
Did they
depends.
play bride sometime? or
No,
bridesmaid?
I should get them to do that. We did have a little competition on Facebook where I had them each make an arrangement and put them on there and then let the internet vote. And actually my daughter won, so my 5.5-year-old won. So I was pretty excited about that.
That's lots of fun.
It is.
Well, I just think this is great fun. You've got some chickens over there.
We do.
We could hear them bark, 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 bark. So they'll think the little girls go and gather eggs
They
for
do.
you.
They finally, that's their chore. They get eggs. We hope they don't break them when they get back to the house.
Well, it seems like a delightful way for these little gals to grow up. And y'all are having a lot of fun. And it's a way for you to relax after traveling a fairly large area.
Yes.
And to come home and just enjoy this wonderful little place y'all have here in
Absolutely.
Williston.
It is. It's where I center myself and find God often enough. So it's a wonderful, tiny slice of heaven here that we've created. My favorite time of the day is the golden hour, especially in the summertime when it's brutally hot out. And I'm fully sweating and know I'm going to get in the shower real soon. But just those last few minutes of light out there is an incredible experience.
Well, we're so glad that you found your way to South Carolina and Williston. And,
Me too.
Thank you for letting us come.
Thank you for being here.